Hello, my name is Gavin Pardero, and I will be talking a little bit about illegal immigration today. So, just do it. Just do it is a slogan by none other than Nike, of course. Nike spends $3.2 billion a year on their marketing, and yeah, another slogan that you might be familiar with is "Buy a pair, give a pair," the one-for-one deal that Tom's offers, and um, people seem to be more happy with Tom's, even though they only spend 1% of what Nike does on their marketing. And this is according to the Brand World Value Index. Um, uh, it might not be better to give than to receive in the one for one offer, but it sure does feel a whole lot better knowing that you're not the only one receiving a pair of shoes when you're purchasing a pair of Toms. Um, it feels good to do something for someone or for a cause, and I see more and more of that. Uh, People wanting to do that. Uh, I'm passionate about this idea that this generation of millennials and generations after are going to continue this trend of social justice, uh, especially on the topic of immigration. Immigration is legal immigration, especially, is something that is negatively affecting uh, real people and real lives in our very own towns. Illegal immigration is proving to not only be um, dangerous for uh, the people that are in this country, but for the people that are coming into this country. Um, and it is up to us to do something. It is possible for politicians, small businesses, large corporations to for even us to all come together and increase the economic situation and safety to benefit the both victim groups. Large corporations have much to gain by being the first to take this step forward and being to by taking this step forward and making a change in the current tactics of illegal immigration. These businesses can continue to make the money by also doing the right thing. So yeah, uh, I'm going to show you why it is important and how it can be achieved. The topic of illegal immigration is very important in that it is dealing with the dignity and safety of human lives while also dealing with the sovereignty and safety and health of a nation. The issue of immigration has been at the forefront of uh, politics for years and will be for years to come. Obviously, it was a main topic in last year's election with Trump having "build the wall" as his one of his slogans. And in the past, 25 years, both parties have had control of the uh, both houses of Congress and the presidency, and there has still been little to no change. So why is this? Why is this? Why is there no change happening? And this is because of big corporations having so much control, and and they have so much control because they give so much money to these lobbying groups, campaigns, nonprofits that are all working together and that are all in cahoots, working to keep the system in their favor. Uh, if it has worked for this long in this way, like, how do we change it? Why should they change it? Just like in every other area of life, the only constant in life is change. And the change here is that the millennials are having different spending habits than the previous generations. So this is obviously a change. Corporations are starting to take notice in this, and this fact of this group of consumers prefer to spend their money on companies that have to do with a pro-social message, with a pro-social agenda, with a ethical business plan or an ethical business model or business standard. Um, Adding the pro-social and ethical message of safe legal immigration is a win for citizens and non-citizens who are looking to become citizens. It also would be a big deal to the bottom line of corporations in the near future. Corporations are created typically for one purpose and one purpose only, and that being profits. And I have no issue with profits. I'm sure you guys have no issues with profits. We all love money. The issue is when people get too much of it. Most profits are created in many ways. One being that you have the best of the best working for you. And by 2025, it is actually looking like we are going to have 75% of millennials in the workforce, and that is according to Butler. A recent study conducted by Cone actually shows that 3/4 of these millennials will take a pay cut. They will actually take less money to work for a socially responsible company. If two large corporations in different areas of the economy were to get in front of this with a strong pro-legal immigration, pro-health, pro-human, pro-safety, pro-worker position, they would be where these people not only want to work at, but where they would be willing to spend their own money. This change has all started with similar companies like Tom's. Our economy is clearly affected by our current system, and the blue collar and the low income jobs, the lower middle class jobs such as farming and construction, are hurt. The school system, the welfare system, and our healthcare systems are all hurt by everyone not contributing the same to the tax pool. Addressing the issue of illegal immigration as a way to be a socially progressive and responsible company is a great fit and could do amazing things if with the right business model. It will utilize the economy and human lives, the human lives of those not having jobs because they are taken by people that corporations do not actually have to report about, so leading to workers getting taken advantage of. Another problem is that and maybe a little bit more urgent problem needing a little bit more paid attention to is that the people that are actually putting themselves in harm's way and by attempting to cross the border illegally are a lot of the women are actually getting taken and sold into sex trafficking. Increased security at the border. I know we've heard a lot about that. So, I mean, that's always going to be a solution, but the people always find ways to get around all sorts of different things. But fencing, drones, increased funding for agents, and increasing the ability for city, state, and federal agencies to share information can also help the safety of those crossing and help decrease those that are being sex trafficked. Imagine if corporations actually, advocated for this type of immigration overhaul with corporate money. What if they pushed for massive increase in work visas for people that apply for it or people that are already even here? They would be seen as social justice warriors like Tom's, and not just a virtue signaling fraud that is speaking out of their behind. And corporations have the power to do this, but millennials have the power to sway corporations. In doing so, businesses would receive great loyalty from millions of millennials. So the time is now. This time in history will not last, so the time for big corporations to step in is now. In conclusion, the argument for corporations to participate in decreasing the incidence of illegal immigrants is important. This includes penalizing exploitation of workers, incentivizing corporations, and improving the avenues through which corporation is possible. This cannot be done without the realm of compromise and intention from corporations and politicians of both parties to create the legal foundation to streamline the length of time, the cost, the availability of immigrating to this country, both on work visas and as eventual permanent citizens. Following the money is usually the best way to find the culprit, and in this case, following the money looks like to be the answer to the problem. We live in a time where everyday people have more power than ever, and more people who want brands that represent our own values, not our shareholders' values. The solutions discussed can be an effective way to stimulate change, which will ultimately better the lives of victims of this unsolved mess. Um, One more thing, it is time for Americans to take back the American dream and for more people to be able to achieve it. And it is time for corporations to lead this millennial movement of social justice into the workplace by using lobbyist systems they have already have to advocate for people rather than against, while also increasing the value of their brand and their profits. Thank you. Have a good one.